One of the cultural barriers that I often observe or have observed in classes with Indigenous learners is that in the Euro-Western way of teaching, the teaching is very direct and in your face, and the expectation is that the student follows the direction of the teacher, so the verbal directions. But in the Indigenous world, the pattern or the way of learning is to observe and to listen, and then to figure out how to do things in on their own. And so it becomes really frustrating, I think, sometimes for teachers, because if an Indigenous student is behaving in that way, then they're not following totally the teacher's instruction. And that becomes really frustrating. And they think that the child is not listening, and so that becomes a real cultural barrier. Border crossing is a term that has been coined in recent years by a number of educational researchers. And what they're referring to is that when people live in multiple worlds, we need to learn how to cross from one world into another, and to be able to cross from one world into another without losing a sense of self. And so for so many generations, when Indigenous students entered schools, they had to leave their cultural knowledge, the knowledge that they gained from life at the door. And in order to be able to access the world of learning in the school. And then when they would leave the school, oftentimes they would leave what they learned at school at the school door, and go out into a different world. In order to be able to function in the world, we need to be able to make sense of and to make use of the knowledge that we gain throughout all of our experiences. And so we need to be able to help students to be able to cross those borders, those cultural borders, without losing that sense of self and of using that knowledge. Teachers too have to learn this, because they have to enter the multiple worlds of their learners, and to not feel threatened by it, and to feel that it's wrong.